news leader.
A wave of upsetting COVID-19 records are set across the country as hospitals in some states are nearing capacity.
Local bands are coming together to give back to businesses that were damaged following the May 30th protest.
And the mix of stormy and hot weather has caused Presque Isle Park officials to close down one of its beaches. We'll tell you where you cannot swim and why they don't want you to.
In high definition from your news leader, this is 1024 Action News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Brian Wilk. Disturbing new records being set across the country. The death toll from coronavirus now surpassing 134,000 in the U.S. Hospitals in some states at or nearing capacity. Here's ABC's Zohreen Shah with the details.
As the number of coronavirus cases in the U.S. tops 3.2 million, a wave of upsetting records are being set. 17 states with record high number of cases, 15 with record high hospitalizations, and 7 with record number of deaths.
It feels as though that we're headed for a disaster.
Today, Florida reporting 15,300 new cases, a record one-day total for any state. Auditoriums and conference rooms at this South Florida hospital now being used to treat patients.
So we've just taken literally every inch of the facility and converted it into patient care areas.
42 hospitals across the state without available ICU beds. In Arizona, 89% of hospital ICUs are full. Phoenix's mayor telling CBS the state is struggling to meet the demand for testing.
We are seeing positivity rates above 20%. We are setting records of the type you don't want to set.
Doctors report 90% of COVID samples in Arizona have a mutation researchers believe makes the virus more infectious.
And this particular mutation allows it to infect human cells much easier.
Analysis shows the drug remdesivir increased the chances of survival in severe cases by 62%, though doctors have a limited supply.
Even though the supply of remdesivir is ramping up, we need to keep a lid on the number of patients that are being infected.
Admiral Brett Jouar, who has been tasked with coordinating the federal government's testing response, says we can expect the number of deaths to rise, but that the country is in a much better place with tests, PPE, and treatments.
This is not out of control, but it requires a lot of effort. You really got to stop the bars. You've got to decrease restaurant capacity. You've got to physically distance. We have to have people wearing a mask in public.
President Trump wearing a mask in public for the first time Saturday evening as he met with wounded service members and healthcare workers at Walter Reed Military Medical Center. The president has been urged to set an example by wearing a mask from some in his own party and had come under criticism from Democrats. The Biden campaign saying he was ignoring the advice of medical experts and politicizing wearing a mask. Zohreen Shah, ABC News, Los Angeles.
And a new analysis of cell phone data in 10 coronavirus hotspots shows even more people hit the road over the 4th of July weekend than over Memorial Day, despite warnings from health experts. Now, the analysis comes from data by Cubic, a private company that the CDC uses to track general movement in the United States. Cubic focused on the number of visitors to and from 10 metro area hotspots in the United States. Now, according to the data, nearly all of these metro areas saw an increase in the number of visitors when compared to either Memorial Day weekend or the 2 weeks prior. And here now, let's take a look at the latest state and local COVID-19 numbers. In Pennsylvania, the Department of Health reporting 725 additional positive cases, bringing the total to 95,414. There were 7 more deaths, bringing that total to just over 6,900. In Erie County, we have a total number of positive cases of 712, with 5 new cases reported. Crawford County is reporting 77 cases. Warren County reports 10 cases. Chautauqua County, New York, now reporting 176 cases, and Ashtabula County reporting 448. And 17 sailors and 4 civilians are injured from a 3-alarm fire on a naval ship in San Diego Sunday. Now, the fire department says it has accounted for all personnel from the USS Bonhomme Richard. Now, it's unclear what caused the blaze, but a witness reports hearing an explosion before it started. Multiple agencies have been responding. And musicians from throughout the county are stepping up during a time of need. The Band Aid for Erie charity is raising money for local businesses damaged following the May 30th protest. Star Bodie joins us in the studio with more. Hey, Star.
Hi, Brian. The charity started with Facebook Live performances, but with the warmer weather in Erie County now in the green phase, bands are stepping up to give back to local businesses.
Following the May 30th protest, several locally owned businesses in downtown Erie suffered major damage. But the band Theory of Evolution, among others, is helping give back.
We started doing live streams with Theory Light Acoustics online, based on Facebook streaming. So when we all woke up the day after the protest and found that Erie had been pretty much turned upside down and there was a lot of damage to a lot of local businesses, it just didn't sit well with us at all.
4 bands decided to step up and raise donations through live music at the Blackjack Sports Bar and Grill. It's a way for the community to come together during a time of need.
Be able to give back, to me, like, it speaks volumes. You know, I'm teaching my children, you know, how to do the right thing at the same time.
The donations will be split evenly and be distributed to 6 or 7 businesses. Musicians we spoke to tell us a little support goes a long way, especially for businesses that are going through an economic hardship.
It's our job to give back. And when people are dealing with COVID and shut down and not able to be open and generating revenue, and then to have this happen amidst all that, yeah, I think as a community, it's about local helping local.
Donations have already reached more than $2,000. If you're interested in making a monetary donation, you can visit our website at yourerie.com. Brian?
Thank you, Star. Yesterday's stormy weather forced Presque Isle Park officials to close down part of the beach. Beach 11 was closed at noon today due to high levels of E. coli bacteria. Now, park officials say high wave activity or heavy rain following hot, calm weather can create high bacteria in beaches. Now, for the safety of the public, Presque Isle State Park officials will continue to perform testing daily until the levels return to normal. The restriction only affects Beach 11, and all other beaches remain open for swimming. And coming up on Jet 24 Action News at 11. One local hotel that has a history dating back to the Civil War and has even housed famous circus performers every winter will soon be going under the wrecking ball. That's after Craig's forecast. Hey, Craig.
Hi, Brian. Good evening to you. Good evening, everyone. A couple of nice looking days here as we start off the new week. However, the heat and humidity returns as well. The forecast next.
From your news leader, you're watching Brian Wilk, meteorologist Craig Flint, and Mike Fenner with sports. This is Jet 24 Action News, your news leader.